I'd like to show you a little tip on moving objects around in Illustrator. I have two squares here. I'm going to take my direct selection tool, the white arrow, click on the surface of the square, and then grab it by an anchor point, by a corner. You can see that my cursor shows me that I'm over the anchor point by displaying that little tiny square. So if I grab it by the anchor point and I move towards the green square, it doesn't snap to the corner of it. I want them to match exactly one to the other. So that's quite annoying. It lacks precision. So what I can do is go to the view menu, and unfortunately this is out of the sight of the camera here, but right below the screen it says snap to point. So that does what it says it does. If I click on the square again with the direct selection tool right on the surface of the square and I grab the corner and I go and match it up to the green one, my cursor turns white. That means that the two anchor points have snapped to each other. So I can put the square down and they're right up against each other. I'm going to go ahead and put it back. Now if I do the same thing with the selection tool, I'm going to click on the blue square. I can't grab it by the corner anchor point because the bounding box is there. When I click and drag, it scales the square, which is not what I want to do. So what I can do is switch to this direct selection tool. So the process is take the black arrow, click on the square, go to the direct selection tool, the bounding box disappears. I can grab it by the corner now and snap it to the green square. So there's a little trick. You don't even have to switch to the direct selection tool. Again, I'm going to start over. Take the selection tool, click on the blue square, hold the Apple key. It switches to the direct selection tool temporarily just while you're holding Apple key, and then you can grab it by the corner and snap it over to the side. There's yet another option you can do. If you don't want to see the bounding box, you can go to the view menu and select hide bounding box. It's Shift, Apple, and B. So you just won't see bounding boxes when you select it with the selection tool. So I can always just grab it by the corner. This is my preferred way of doing it. So I turn off bounding boxes, grab the corner, and it'll just snap to the green one on its own. Now if I want to scale it, I just hit S on the keyboard. It switches to my scale tool. I can grab the corner of the box, I'm holding shift now, and I can scale it smaller. So hopefully all of those different combinations of keys and settings and everything will help you move things around and scale them more quickly using keyboard shortcuts and everything else, and you can work more efficiently in Illustrator.